Hi, Power Life. Great to see you guys. I miss a lot of you that I haven't seen in a really long time, so I'm glad that we can at least connect on here. Feel free to comment. I read those once in a while and would love to see that you are enjoying these. For today's restorative practice, I would like you to get some props. I want you to baby yourself. I want you to really take care of yourself. So if you have like a favorite blanket or a favorite sweater, I obviously don't have any of those things at the studio, but when I do my own home practice, I layer it all on. Get some pillows. I don't know if any of you ever made like a nest when you were little, but my kids, whenever they go to my mother-in-law's house, they make a nest out of blankets and pillows, and that's where they sleep at night by like the foot of her bed so they can be close to her. And really, at the end of the day, what it's about is filling up any negative space underneath the shapes that you make. So if you make a shape, a simple shape, and you find there's a bunch of negative space around here, it can be just really restorative to take some of that extra material, lump it underneath. Okay, that's why we have bolsters and stuff when you come to yoga for restore. So you get to kind of invent what you want to do, but I really recommend packing in that negative space. And where we'll start today is actually on our backs. The negative space that I find most people have are right below their knees. So you might roll up a blanket, even towels, rest them below your knees as you let your feet flop out. And then sometimes it feels nice to have a blanket rolled up underneath your neck, even with a pillow underneath your head. You can even wrap the pillow around your eyes, the blanket around your eyes, shut out the outside world. So if you need to pause this and get anything awesome, set up your nest. Take a moment to fidget, settle in, and then drop into the body. How do you feel? Can you become discerning to what is external noise and just kind of come inside and retreat away from it? Especially valuable in our home practice when sometimes we forget to silence our phone or our children, our spouse, something tries to pull our attention away. Can we prioritize us, ourselves, this moment, this practice, just for a small amount of time? Take the awareness down underneath the skin, into each leg, all the way down to the right big toe, all the consecutive toes, the whole right foot, tracing back up the ankle, the calf, your knee, your femur bone, your pelvis, down the left leg, all the way to the left big toe, each consecutive toe. Your whole foot is one sensation leading up to your ankle, your calf, your shin, your knee, the back of your knee, your femur bone, your pelvis, to feel your belly loosen, to feel your chest open, to dial your mind's eye down your right arm all the way to your right thumb, to feel each consecutive finger and then where they attach to the palm of your hand, up through your wrist, your forearm, the eye of your elbow, up to your triceps, your biceps, your shoulders, across your chest, down to your left thumb, through the index finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, your pinky finger, where they attach to your hand, where your hand attaches to your forearm at the wrist, to the front of your forearm, the back of your forearm, the elbow, the eye of the elbow, the upper arm, the shoulder, the chest, up to the neck. And then just rest your awareness on your face. Every breath in lightens and brightens the tissues surrounding your eyes. Lifts your cheeks up and away from your nose. And smooths your temples and your jaw. Now that you are inside the body and out of the mind, you can take your attention to third eye chakra, eyes closed, just a gentle perseveration on the space between the brows. This place of intuition, innate wisdom, self-guidance. It's where your awareness will stay for the duration of practice. In yoga, we call our inner teacher Sadhguru. And when you get still enough and present enough, it will tell you exactly what you need. So on your next inhale, just let an intention appear to you. Breathe it in. And exhale to trust it and seal it in. Bring your right knee up and into your chest. And then just let it flop across the left side body. And take a moment to notice the new negative space. Mine is underneath my right shoulder. So if I had a pillow, I'd come pull it right underneath my right shoulder and my right arm. You will probably have a wide expanse of space below your right thigh. Make yourself a new nest. And then snuggle up in that nest. Feel very taken care of, relaxed, indulgent. Remind yourself that nothing is something worth doing. You must turn off the mind, the body. You must nourish it for it to work optimally. So when you get pulled into solving or analyzing or remembering or fantasizing, you just come back and you breathe. Notice the support of all the things underneath you and how you might be able to just trust them a little bit more with the weight of your body. And feel your head almost like a bowling ball, when you're testing them out to see which weight you need. At first, your head might feel like something a child might use, something not very weighty. But as you deepen into the posture, you realize that you can trust its true weight to just kind of melt, to become one of those heavier balls that might knock down a few more pins. When you trust your inner teacher, You do not fear what other people will think. In its simplest form, I might be talking about this yoga posture, right? Whether the shape you've made is the correct one or not, but also in life. We make small and large choices every day. And in the end, you have to live with them. Some other people do too, but most of the time, not everybody who has a judgment. Can you be true to yourself? Can you listen to the inner voice and let it guide you? In the next couple of breaths, you'll find the same posture, but it'll be on the other side. I like a neutralizing, just return to the back for a moment. It doesn't seem like a big posture, that twist, but just a couple of minutes in there can really, really change the quality of the energetic body. Let's just take the other side. Don't overthink it, but do make a new nest. You'll notice too, sometimes your chin wants to fall one way or the other. Let it. Maybe even take a pillow under your cheek and let it rest there. Allow your elbows to be heavy. A lot of times in our yoga practice, we fish for sensation, right? But there are even places where you don't feel sensation that are getting nourishment. Just a slight drop back of your left arm bone will really open up some of these deeper pectoral muscles. And most people won't even feel it. It's a very nuanced sensation, if any. But the long hold does change that pattern, that adherence. Can your head be the same weight as it was on the other side? Let all the muscles around your throat dissolve and desist. And remind yourself that today's practice is not a long one. So when the mind wanders, bring it back right away. Settle back in. There will be time for everything else very shortly. Your inner teacher is not hard to listen to. You just have to settle the mind a little bit, and that happens with practice, right? Just like training a bicep muscle. Relaxation is a learned skill. But it's only as valuable, this inner teacher, as your ability to listen to it. I think back to times when I've gone against what my inner wisdom has said, and it's turned out poorly. Made a couple mistakes, but you know right away when something doesn't fit. And you have to remind yourself that Your path is not just something that you choose once, it's something that you choose every time you wake up, whether it's a relationship or a job. Not going another direction is re choosing that path over and over again. Does it serve you? Are you nourishing yourself through your choices? Or are you simply depleting yourself and cheating? Gently dial back towards center. When you feel even, take a neutralizing posture, something where you feel symmetric. Scan your body. We've only got two more postures. It's a very simple practice today, nothing fancy, but I want you to take your time on the setup because the setup is everything. For legs up a wall, I would like your pelvis to be lifted a little bit, at least. Okay? So for me, I don't have any props today. I'll roll up my yoga mat and perhaps this, yes, will lift my hips just a little bit, but you're at home, I think. So find a pillow, find an actual wall, find some stuff. And it's not overrated to have something underneath your arm bones, your wrists. Feel where you need to be. If you're on a wall, you might even take your legs a little bit further apart, break at your knees a little bit. And if this feels at all like agitating, maybe you just take happy baby's pose instead. Okay. Figure out where you need to be. If your arms are out to the sides, palms are up. Back of skull is heavy on the exhale. It's hard as a yoga teacher to serve everyone in a class or everyone watching this video because you're all so unique, not only from each other, but each time you come to the mat, you're a different constellation or alchemy of energies and patterns and experiences and ailments and all those different things. That's where you need to listen to your inner teacher because you are the guru. It's not me, it's no one else. It's you. If you haven't already, this practice, let your eyes close. Just feel what it's like to be in the darkness right behind the brow. If you're having trouble slowing the spinning wheel of thought, you might kind of compartmentalize them. Start to see yourself as separate from the thoughts, yourself alone in this dark, safe, secure space behind third eye center in your own little world. And these thoughts are just like little door knockers. They come, they try to come in, but you see them as separate, as things you can choose to go out and play with, kind of like the neighbors that come over to play with my kids. You know, they can choose to go out and play with them if they want. They can choose to stay in. to be settled, to be quiet, still. And there are two kinds of thoughts that will come to knock on your door. There will be pleasant, actually three, pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral thoughts. Doesn't really matter which ones come knocking. I find the ones on both extremes are a little harder to get rid of. The pleasant thoughts you want to be in, right? Feels good. The unpleasant ones, maybe you try a little too hard to push away. But you continue to practice just the same, letting them all lose their power over you as you choose to come back time and time again to center. One at a time, bend your knees into your chest. Our last pose will be a supported Supta Baddha Konasana. And what I like is a blanket roll where I will actually use my mat today underneath my spine. Okay, not my hips, probably a little bit underneath the end of my rib cage. And when you make this shape, you'll notice there's negative space in all new places. So fiddle for a moment, figure it out where you need to be, and then pad up. Maybe really big pillows underneath your knees, perhaps one underneath your sacrum. I think I'm going to take my hands underneath my sacrum just to give it a little bit more cushion. This is our last stop. This is our Shavasana pose for today. So once you've got your nest, your final nest, I'd like you to take a big breath in. Open mouth, exhale, and just feel your whole body melt over your tools in your nest. Almost as though the two sort of external and internal worlds can melt together. The shape of your nest and the shape of your body become one. And you feel so taken care of that you let your guard down and you simply sit inside the seat of the higher self. And you let your innate wisdom unravel in front of you, asking yourself, maybe for a little guidance on the path, to be open to which way you should go next on both broad and more microscopic levels. You found the stillness that it takes to listen inward. And now, maybe just to ask for the strength to follow your own innate wisdom, to let ego, fear, anything go that might stand in the way of you fulfilling your own brilliant destiny. Take a smile, take a swallow, and then just gently bring your arms to your heart center. Hands touch, palms kiss, wrists line up. Feel each pad of each finger press into one another with intention. Take a breath in. Take your palms to third eye center. And exhale to seal in your practice, driving forward into the rest of our week from this space of knowing, of wisdom, of confidence. Namaste. Feel free to stay here and to breathe for a bit longer. Thank you for entrusting me with your practice today. And please let me know if there's anything specific you need out of your yoga practice here on Power Life Live. Namaste, everybody.